great Beowulf had told a tale of his battles between the giant Grendel and his forsaken.
I've wrestled the hilt from the enemy's hand, avenged the evil done to the Danes. It is what was due. And this I pledge, O Prince of the Shieldings. You can sleep secure with your company of troops in Harrod Hall.
As the miraculous hero spoke, and the people of the hall were consumed by their consumptions, not one gave attention to the creeping beast outside the doors of their impenetrable hall. Outside of their precious Harrod Hall was a ferocious fiend who had been collecting some of the most prized possessions from Harrod, while their masters were drunken with pride and celebration. The crystal goblet, once a centerpiece in the mead hall and passed around for guests to enjoy. A children's toy once belonging to a child who had been destroyed by Grendel. A hand-knitted blanket made by their ancestors, passed down for generations, had all been possessed by the malevolent materialist. Not one drunkard had even batted an eye at the realization that their precious things had been stolen. Not until the celebration had concluded.
As the happy water dried, the celebration concluded. The people of Harrod began to notice their most prized possessions were no longer theirs. It became clear that a new kind of monster was among them. A kind of monster that did not take lives, but took objects, which was equally as horrifying.
The fearful clan looked to their most fearless leader, Beowulf. How the thing had been taken from me. People, my people, Beowulf preached. Such that has gone missing are merely items. Our lives are still our lives. Let us not fret over such materials. Let us celebrate the keeping of our lives. Granny folk listened to their hero, for he knew best. To complete their worry, additional wine was brought in, and additional night of celebration was underway. As the party concluded for the night, and everyone was sleeping disorderly, peacefully, the four-legged beast took advantage of their state. He looked to their leader, their fearless, valiant leader.
The beast knew the most prized possession of dear Beowulf. It was being spotted, waved, and circulated during the celebrations. It was but the pink, petal-pink, gold-trimmed scarf that came from Beowulf's homeland. It was to be taken. The beast came to where their fearless leader lay for the night, clutching his precious pink scarf. The beast crept over to where he lay. It would have been an easy kill, if that were what the four-legged fiend was after. But it was not, so he did not. He was after things much more important to the people than lives. He wanted the things that were most prized, most valued, most important. With a quick snatch, the fiend had stolen the most important item to the hero. Like stealing from an infant, it was an incredible sight to see something so valued, so easily taken.
He was shaking with fury, for during the night he had been robbed. Ignoring the advice he had given the grieving people, Beowulf was out for blood. He wanted his scarf, yes, that was true, but he wanted revenge even more.
He stalked around the land, searching for the evildoer. Beowulf had gone alone. He wore no armor, no chains. He would only fight with his bare hands and a sword, man to man, beast to beast. For 3 days and 3 nights, the hero of the Danes struggled through the thick woods, following the trail of the four-legged monster. By the end of the 3rd night, Beowulf began to wilt. His tongue was dry, he was sore to the bone. In such a desperate state, he envisioned the fiend with his possession, wearing his scarf. He recalled all that the scarf had meant to him, the family and friends of his homeland, the family and friends he had given up to rescue the Danes. The evil hound had stolen all that was left of his past. As he reached the deepest parts of the forest, in the dead of the night, he could faintly hear the crinkling of leaves. Beowulf aggressively threw himself into the tangled brush. He ran blindly, chopping anything in his path with his killer blade, until he swung and hit nothing but thick air.
Did not come as punishment or for pain, but as a warning from the one above. For the Lord had sent the beast to warn the people of their actions, their evil, fiend-like actions. The Danes had turned from human nature to acting like beasts. They did not value life like it should, but instead placed items of material in high mark.
Upon a clearing, Beowulf spotted his violator. He saw the thing run as quick as the wind, with an evil, fiery glare in its eyes. Beowulf took this opportunity, gathering up every ounce of energy and courage he could. He recalled what he was fighting for, who he was fighting for. Again, Beowulf pressed on. He led with his sword held high above him with pride and courage as he chased the evil beast. The tables turned as Beowulf's sword flew from his hands, with the beast only a mere feet away. He was left with no choice but to attack the ferocious beast. He announced to his opponent,
Do you not know who I am? For I am Beowulf, warrior, protector, defender of the gates. How dare thee come upon as an unwelcome guest? Thou hast disrupted the celebration of thy, and injected fear into my brothers. Thou hast unrightfully taken precious possessions from thy inherit and stolen thy most valued piece. Thou shalt pay.
Beowulf approached the monster as if his life were at stake, for missing his most important article was like an unimaginable cruel death. The brawl between the hero and the villain became so severe that the identity of none could be determined, for not even the Lord himself could see which animal was for good. As the four-legged foe became tired and weary, the two creatures separated. Beowulf stood grimly over the evil beast who had stolen the treasures of he and his brothers. He held such a grudge over the fiend that without even a second thought he drove his life-taking dagger into the back of the hound. With all of his might he skewered the butt for his crimes, playing the master of fate for all creatures around. In that very moment the Dane hero collected what belonged to him. It became clear to all watching from above that the presented man was no different from beast.